Hi, everybody. This is Linda Chausis, and our group is called the Thrive Collective. And I'm now starting to do webinars again. I kind of stopped doing it for a while because I had a whole bunch of other stuff I needed to be doing. But what I tend to do is I tend to like showing the oils, talking about what they have been used for us. And then I will put this link underneath the webinar after I record it and put it up, because what this is this tells you all of the oils in the Home Essentials Kit, Easy Air, and it tells you a bit more about what they do, so it gives a lot more information. And it's just the Thrive Collective. But I think what I find can be really helpful is just talking about what we've used, because I think that can be like, oh my word, so you've actually used them all. Because the first kit that we got was the Home Essentials Kit, and now I've got probably have 101 oils, and I'd say at least 75% of them I have used them all. Might be some that I've just used one or two. So what I want to do is just show you the bottle and then just show you how it's used for us, and then you can do the booklet to look at some of the other stuff. Now, there are 4 travel things that I use all the time. So I'll show you these first. But On Guard. So On Guard is it's an immune defense oil. It actually smells lovely. It smells like clove, and it actually has quite a lovely fragrance. But On Guard, I can't tell you how many bottles we've actually used. I've used doTERRA for 2 years, and I must say that after we've started using On Guard and some of the other stuff, we haven't really ever gotten sick. When we've come down with something, just use Digestin or On Guard, and it's been great to go, help us to go, get better. So with On Guard, I mean, one of the things, I had 3 months where I was teaching 4 classes at grad school. So it was huge. It was really 18 hours. And so I would put On Guard on the bottom of my feet. And that really helped because, the students would be sick and all that stuff, and it always got better. So On Guard, one of the things that we use it when we travel is whether it's the lounge or the airport, what we will do is we will, open up the thing, and we'll just put a drop on each of our hands, 1 drop on each hand, and then we'll go like that, and then we'll inhale it a few times while we're at the lounge, and then when we get on the plane, we'll just inhale it, and then when we're sitting in the seat, we can do it from time to time. If people don't know, they don't really, it's not like they think, well, what are you doing? As a matter of fact, I've had a few people go, could you tell me what that On Guard, that smells really good, or what is it that's making you, seem better? Because in the past, when I would fly, I'd say every second or third flight, I'd be sitting next to someone who was really ill. They had a cold or a flu or feeling really sick, and I got it. And so you get off the plane, and for a day and a half, sometimes I just have to go to bed and to try to get better. And honestly, since we've used On Guard and some of the other things on the plane, it's never happened. And I've sat next to people who have sneezed and had terrible stuff and come down with viruses and probably shouldn't have been on the plane. And I always got off the plane with great immunity. So On Guard has been absolutely fantastic. Digestin, and I actually say this to some of you guys. You've heard me say this before. I usually have pretty good stomach issues. I don't really have any stomach problems, but it's really been interesting because I actually have used Digestin more than I thought I would have. And there was one time when I really did get like that, stomach, thing, and so I thought, I know I'm going to get sick, but then I put the Digestin on my stomach. I diffused it on the diffuser, and I can honestly say that when I put it on my stomach, when I went to bed, I could just feel it just disappear. And so I woke up in the morning and I was fine, and I didn't get sick. Now remember, the oils are ones that go right into your system and they help you get better. So it's not like something that's going to be cramping up and going, well, it's going to make you feel better, but you're going to not ever be sick, if that's what, that's probably, I'm not saying it the right way, but so that has been so helpful. And sometimes, like if I'd have a heavy meal or something, I just put digestin on my stomach, and it would just really just calm down the stomach, and it would just, you know, help you, get rid of it. Some people put it in, 1 drop in water. I don't like the taste of it, so I wouldn't do that. But digestin is one that we do carry, with us, as with On Guard. I actually have these in my handbag. I have On Guard, I have digestin, and I also, from time to time, have peppermint, because I find peppermint, if you're tired, I find peppermint is a wonderful way of just, and again, I don't always have the diffuser, so I'll just go like that. Oh, it has the most wonderful fragrance. And I think if any of you had used this and you had used others, I think you'd all know that this is just really, just so authentic, and it's got a real strong peppermint flavor, of peppermint, not flavor, but odor, or whatever it is. And so I find that that can be really helpful, and it just really helps you get, just get some of that, get the exhaustion less. And I know sometimes when I've been teaching classes in the evening, I'd be all day just running around doing stuff. And sometimes by the time I'd leave at 5 o'clock to teach classes in the evening, I'd be really tired. And I would take this peppermint, and I would just inhale about 3 or 4, sniffs of it, because that's one thing that you can do. You can inhale it, and it's fine. It goes into your system the same way it would in other ways. So, and I would find that it would give me energy. It would give me, a good way of teaching classes. And I would find sometimes when I actually came home, I was still feeling quite energetic. It wasn't this, buzz stuff, but it was just this, it really had helped with the energy. And again, it's because it goes into your cells. It's not just something that, well, after you have 2 hours, you're going to get really exhausted. And then the next one that I often take with me is Easy Air, because Easy Air, if you are congested, or if you're getting, if you're getting a cold, or if you're getting like hay fever or something, Easy Air it's a wonderful oil that just helps you just kind of clear out the lungs. And I've a few times, probably more than a few times, when I've diffused it, next to my bed, or sometimes if I go away, I can take the diffuser with me, but other times I can't. So I'll just inhale it, and it does pretty much the same thing. But with Easy Air, I know that a few times in the winter I started to get really congested, or sometimes I get hay fever, and honestly, I must say to you, I'd get up and put a few drops in the diffuser with the lavender and whatever, and I must say within 15 minutes I could feel the lungs were just getting cleared. So Easy Air is a great oil to really help you just get some of that, the lungs being cleared. Now, even if you don't have necessarily congestion, they say Easy Air can be just great when you are, especially when you're sleeping, because it just helps you, it just helps you open up the passageways, and gives you, more of that, easy air type of situation. Now, lavender is another one that I always take with me, because lavender is, it's a calming one. And many times, if I often you go somewhere and it's like, oh, I'm so excited, I can't get to sleep. And so what I will do, and again, I don't always have the diffuser with me, so I'll put a drop of lavender on the bottom of my feet. And I actually do that here at home. I'll put a drop of lavender on the bottom of my feet, and I find it just gives me that sense of, okay, the calmness, and I can, go, kind of get more, calm, and go to sleep. And I have found that when I put it on the bottom of my feet, it does help me to just calm down, go to sleep, and I have a much better night's sleep. There are other things that you can use for lavender, and I'll give you, again, the document for it. One of the things I found, which was I read because I was going upstairs because I was listening to a webinar, and I was rushing upstairs with a hot cup of tea. And as I was rushing upstairs, these two fingers were burnt because I was, the tea, kind of, came over the fingers, and it was terribly hot. And so I quickly looked up what the oils would use, and they said lavender. And so what I found, now, usually if I burn myself, it will take me, I'll run it through cold water, and it will take me probably 4 or 5 days to actually get it to finally not be hurting. So I put the lavender on, and as I was listening to the webinar, I think they said something like, put lavender on like every 10 minutes. So I did that, put a few drops on every 10 minutes. And I must say, after the hour of the webinar, it was fine. And there was no hurt, there was no burn, and it got over. So there are a lot of really good things with lavender that can be really useful. So, lavender is one thing that is really a great one to use. Now, one of the ones that I love is lemon, and lemon just smells so good. And sometimes I use lemon to spray on the bench tops. And sometimes if I don't know, some of you probably do the same thing. Sometimes I've put the washing in the washing machine and then forgotten about it. And so, especially in the summer, it's like, oh my word, it's so musty. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of lemon in the washing machine with the soap, and it just totally takes away that musty smell. It has the most lovely fragrance. And what I've just started to do is, I thought, I'm actually going to try to use it in the toilet, and because I had been using something else, but I'd run out of it downstairs, because the tea tree oil is the other one that I was using. And so I thought, well, I'll try this. And I put it in the toilet, and oh my word, it just smelled so lovely. And when I cleaned it, it really was clean, just like it with the tea tree oil. So I'm actually going to use this because it just smells so lovely. Now, lemon, you can use lemon with water. Put 1 drop in or 2 drops in, and there are other things that you can use with your cooking. But again, as I say to people, whenever you use anything when you're ingesting it, whether it's water or tea or cooking, make sure that you read the instructions and that you only have whatever drops that they say, because these are really pure oils. And so, there are people who will say, oh, I've used this other, oil company, and so just use 5 drops in something. I'm thinking, no, you don't do that with doTERRA. So just be sure that you actually look up what the oils are. Now, tea tree is the one that I was using in the toilet, and what I have is I've got one upstairs and one downstairs with the tea tree oil, and I ran out of the tea tree oil downstairs, and I just didn't want to rush upstairs, so I thought, oh, let's just try lemon. Now, tea tree is great in a range of ways, and tea tree can help you with your skin. It can help you with getting rid of some of the dandruff. It will help you with your feet. I mean, tea tree has some amazing stuff that it does. And I found when I did use the oil in the toilet, it did smell like nice and disinfectant, But I do find the lemon one smells just as well. So tea tree has a lot of benefits, and I think when you smell it, it smells that kind of eucalyptus kind of thing, which really, it just feels like, yeah, this one's going to be really clean. Now, frankincense. Frankincense is another one that I think we probably bought about 3 bottles. Now, frankincense is one. If you read more about frankincense, it says that there are some evidence-based things that talk about it can help you with your cellular function, it can help you with your blood and your brain, and so there's a whole lot of stuff that as the medical practitioners continue to do the evidence-based stuff to find out what it really works, it's like, oh my word, this really works well. It certainly is good for skin, and so if you rub it on your skin, you may want to rub it with a bit of oil just in case it's too rough on your skin. But and that it can really help it to become much softer, and some people. One person had Bell's palsy, and she had gone to a doctor, and I think she had been going 2 or 3 months, and one side of her face was it was kind of stiff because it had Bell's palsy. And so they'd given her medication and everything, and so she said, and she finally said, look, the doctor said, look, this is the best I can do. It's gotten a lot better, but that's all I can do. And then she just had someone say, try frankincense. And I think there was another thing as well that they're going to use. Try frankincense. And she did. And she said it was amazing because in a short amount of time, she put it on the cheek and she said it totally got rid of the Bell's palsy. But what she said was she just did it on this side. And she said it was amazing because when she looked at this side of the cheek, it looked so much younger. So, frankincense can be really great for the skin. Frankincense can also be one that you just diffuse. It can be a nice oil to diffuse. And again, anything that you're diffusing, it will also help, with the cellular function. And, they call it the king of oils. So what people often say is, look, if there's something that you need to use, use the frankincense as the king of oils. So there's a lot that it will be used. And again, the book that I will send you, or I will send you the link, it will tell you a lot more about what there is about the frankincense. Oregano. Now, oregano is they probably don't see very much. Oregano is one that, honestly, I love the way it smells because, honestly, it smells exactly like the plant. It's like the natural plant. Now, oregano, obviously, you can use it for cooking. But again, I would say make sure you look at how many drops, because I know that sometimes what one person has done is she's taken a toothpick, put it in the spaghetti sauce. So you've got to be really careful with how much you use. It will be delicious, but just make sure that you use the right, set of ingredients. Some people use a drop, but they say, really just look at it carefully because it's very potent because it's pure therapeutic oil. The other thing that oregano does, which is kind of a surprise, is it also helps immunity. So, if you if you feel like, if you just inhale, it can help you with the immunity. You can put it on the bottom of your feet. So that can be another one that can help people with immunity. And I have a few clients who say, Linda, I use the oregano more than I use On Guard because we've always used oregano and it's been really helpful. So, it's a great way to use the oil. So it's got a whole range of ways to use. And again, there's a lot more about the oregano when you look at the booklet. Now, ice blue. Ice blue is one of the ones, and we have every part of ice blue. We've got this, which is the oil. We've got the touch, which is the one with the fractionated coconut oil. We've got the roller with the ice blue like this, and then we've got the cream. And it really is. I don't think you can see. But ice blue is amazing because it really does help the muscle. So, if you happen to be doing exercise and you're like, oh, I haven't really done that for very long, it almost immediately, calms the muscles. Now, and as the oils in it really help you get the muscles, calm, get them, kind of released, and it really helps the body. So, all of the things about the oils that we use, it really, they're more than just what they'll help you with, but they also help the body and they also help the cells. So it really is, just trying to make sure that I've used every one of those, and I have. So that's the Home Essentials Kit. And I've got to tell you that before I was going to use the webinar, I had to go around the house and pick up the oils. So, and I think what that says is I use it all the time. So it's not like I don't have it, what I have it, I've got it in the case now, but I didn't have it in the case because I looked at the case and it was like, oh, there are just 2 oils in there, because I've got them upstairs, I've got them downstairs, I've got them in the kitchen. And there are some of the oils that I've actually had 2 or 3 bottles because I've got one there, one there, one there. So, and I guess I say that to you because it is, the doTERRA oils they're chemical free. And so, everything that you use, it's so much better than, some of the stuff that I used to spray and all that kind of stuff. But I think the other part of it is when you think about often when you put because you can put them in a spray bottle and, put like 10 drops of oil or whatever. And it just lasts so long. So That is really helpful. And what I always say to all of you is when I use any of the oils, when I first use it, what I will do is I'll say, if it works the same, then you can use the others as well. If it works much better, I'll tell you. And all of those oils work much better than any other oils, because in the past I have used a few other oils from other companies, and they weren't nearly what these are. And one of them was what they called an organic oil, but it wasn't organic. And I think that's one of the things about doTERRA. doTERRA calls it certified pure therapeutic grade, and they've set that grade. That's their grade, because what they have found is with some of the oils, it can be just a small percentage of something else that's not just pure oil, because there is a small percentage that you can use it. And I think, one of the things that, Dr. Hill, who is the clinical, he's a doctor, and he's got a clinical team where they're constantly looking at what they will use, and he'll go to Johns Hopkins University, he'll go to, other doctors, and they'll talk to other doctors who are saying, yeah, look, I'm now starting to use some of these oils as well as what I'll use with some of the pharmaceuticals, but these oils really help so much better. I know that with frankincense, if you look up some of the articles, there are people around breast cancer who say frankincense works so much better than any of the, the chemical stuff. So, I think we're really just, in some ways, just starting to see what the oils will do. But certainly for us, and that's why I've started to do doTERRA. It's really just, we started to use it, and people would say, wow. And people might say, wow, your skin looks so good, or you look so healthy now, or, whatever. And it's like, well, this is because of how we use the oils. So, and as we say, when I share it with people, I'm a wellness advocate. So I'm not a clinician. I'm not a medical practitioner. So I will tell people about the oils, about what they can do, and about what some of the things that doTERRA has said that you can do. But it's really about you using what you feel is best. So I think that that is really, it's something that I think is the best way to start the Home Essentials Kit, because the Home Essentials Kit is really, I think sometimes a Home Essentials Kit sounds like it's a cleaning kit, but it's not. It's that whole kit that will really help you with a lot of things around the children, around the adults, around the cleaning, and and around having you help with the immunity. And I think that's one of the things that I found first, that so many people, when they use On Guard or oregano or Easy Air Digestin, they go, oh my word, that it's just been so helpful, because like when the children, when they were really sick, we put Digestin on, and it really helped them to not get have that stomach thing for like 3 or 4 days. So I think it's that it's that thing about just looking at what is going on. But remember, anything that you use with the children, you use the fractionated coconut oil as well. And again, look at the drops. In the booklet I have, it talks about the drops, because it's really important to think about the drops that you're going to use for the kids, the drops that you're going to use for yourself, because again, they are therapeutic grade oil. So we really need to be looking at how we're going to use it and how we'll use it, in the right way. So I think that, it's such a great way of using it. Now, I just want to quickly show you the yoga oils. I'm going to talk a bit more about them in another time, but I think it's great. The yoga oil. Now, this yoga oil is a rise. It's called a rise, and this lovely kind of copper thing, and it's called the Enlightening Blend. So it can be a great way of just kind of enlightening the way that you're doing exercise, or just if you're feeling a bit more enlightened about what can I do to help me be better about what I'm doing. Now the next one is Align, and that is the centering blend. And that's, and again, obviously if you're using it for the yoga oils, you're doing, around the enlightening or the centering, but you can do it even if you don't use the yoga oils. It can be a really great way of using the oils. And then you've got the Anchor, which seems to not be wanting to come up. And the Anchor is called the Steadying Blend. And again, it's a blend that's saying, yep, I can, we'll look at what you can use to just steady what you're doing. And so I think, I'll just tell you what the oils are in each of those. So the Arise has lemon, grapefruit, Siberian fir, osmanthus, and melissa. So it's a beautiful, fragrance of oils. And they've obviously put those in to have it be the enlightening blend. The centering blend has got bergamot, coriander, marjoram, peppermint, geranium, basil, rose, and jasmine. And again, it's that centering blend. And I think, we can look at a lot of these and go, yeah, that actually, they are the centering blend. So again, all of those oils together can really help you, to be centered. And then the steadying blend with the anchor one, it's lavender, cedarwood, frankincense, cinnamon bark, sandalwood, black pepper, and patchouli. And, again, it's the steadying blend. So, there might be times when you're just really like, I've got to just stop to do something. And, sometimes you can just, steady through it. What I've diffused now while I'm doing this is bergamot, because it's been really busy. We had a late night because we were doing some stuff. And so it was late night. So I'm using bergamot, which is it gives you, a bit of that stress and that relaxation. And it's a beautiful fragrance. So, I think it's that kind of thing of really thinking about, what can you do to really help the oils. And I'm going to, with the oils, I've actually put some graphics together, and I'm going to put, more things on each week. As I said to some of you, in December, January, I did take a bit of time off because I was just so exhausted from teaching and everything. And I've been just kind of thinking about what to do and all that stuff. So in February, I'm really, going to start like the webinars and some of the things where I meet people one-on-one and just have a chance to talk to people. Because really what most of us are really just saying to you is, we really just want to have you know about them. And then it's up to you if you decide you want to use them. And I find that, most of the people go, oh my word, that's been such a great, sense of oil. So, and certainly if any of you have any people that you want to have, a small group around your house, or a small group around a cafe, or just even if you want me to have you meet with you, I'm more than happy to do that. Because what I'm trying to do is to just say to people, look, I'd like to just share with you so you can see what they are and how they will help. And, especially if there's a specific thing. And I find that sometimes there's people that have specific things, and they say, well, what can help with this? And it can be really helpful if I say, well, look at this. And I've got a booklet with a huge manual that talks about some of the oils. Now, the other thing that I've used is the Itovi, I guess, system. And what you do, I don't think it probably won't show now, but and this is something that I will bring with me. And even if it's to your classes, or if it's to just one-on-one, and I find that when I do it, it does give me the exact things that are like, oh my word, that's so true, and that's so true what I need to use. So it's a great way of looking at what the things are at the moment that you can use, and what are some of the oils that you can use. So, there's so many more oils, and I'll do a bit more of them, bit by bit. And I think what I'll probably do with some of them is I'll just do like a 3-minute thing on the Facebook Thrive Collective, because I think for many of us, it's like, we don't need to have a whole lot of time. We just need this bit, and then, to talk about it. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And I'm hoping it was about 30 minutes. And, certainly if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask the questions. What I do want to show you, because, you have to sometimes do things that are just, doing the best that you can. And so this is what I did. This could look like I'm sitting at a desk, but I just want to show you, because I think it just shows you like, oh, okay. So yeah, you've had to do something a bit different. So this is what I've used to, that's what I'm using. I'm using the ladder. And so, and I think and what I'm saying, and I guess why I'm saying that to you is, when you set up a business, sometimes you have to do stuff. Now, I started here, and the window, there was nice bright light, and it was beautiful. There was no, crackly stuff, like, because like now this is a bit dark. It's like, okay, so the window got dark before 8:30. But it's just okay. So I know next time I'll either have to just keep doing it or I'll try to do something else. So I guess what I'm saying to you is, really think about it. And some of you, I do think that there are some of you who it would be really great if you wanted to just think about what you might be able to do, as getting into doTERRA and sharing it with other people, because it's such a great business. And what I love about it is the other side is the healing hands. And so doTERRA has done a lot of building hospitals and clinical things in schools, and to help people, especially people in the developing countries. And many times they go into some of the most poor countries and they develop clinical things and things to help people to really upgrade what they're doing. And a lot of the source oils come from the developing countries because they're often the best soils. But doTERRA doesn't go to just any country. It will go to the country that has the best soil, the best climate, and the best place to use it. But what they also do is they give people fair pay. And so many people we've had, there's a lot of videos on the doTERRA YouTube, and there's so many videos that people say, oh my word, I can't believe it. We actually have fair pay. And now my children can go to school. They don't have to, come and pick up the plants with us. So to me, it's a beautiful circle because we get the best oils. And what you'll find is I'm big on the integrated medicine, and we don't really have a good one here. But doTERRA in Utah, they're building a huge building, and they're going to have a range of doctors and integrated medicine, which will also include the oils. So it's also including, pharmaceuticals and, doctors, naturopaths, and all that kind of thing. But you'll look at the oils, and you look at what the oils can use, and then you look at what the other things we use. And I think in the next decade, that's going to be more and more what we're talking about, because certainly everybody that I have actually shared the oils with and that they've bought the oils, they've all gone, oh my word, I can't believe it. This has just been so much more healthy for us. So I think it's going to be something that will just continue to go on and on. So if any of you are interested in just talking about what might be interested in, starting, some of the business, and, you can just start it small or you can start it big. And I can help you either way, because it's a great organization. It's a great organization that talks to you about health. And as you guys know, that's the only reason why I got into it. I mean, I wasn't going to get into it, but it was like, oh my word, this just keeps getting us healthier and healthier. And this works here, and this works in, we use On Guard laundry detergent. And again, it works better than anything else that I've ever used. So it's like, and then people just say, Linda, can you tell me about this? Can you tell me about that? So, it can be a great thing. And you'll find the doTERRA organization is one that really talks about looking at what helps people first. It's not about selling. It's just saying, so what is it that I can help you with? Yeah, and I'll tell you about the Home Essentials Kit, and I'll tell you about, what the cost will be. But the first thing will be, tell me about what you're interested in about the oils. So it can be a great, capacity thing. And, even though there are more and more people that, we know about doTERRA, if you really look at the percentage, it's a very small percentage of people who are using it in Australia and even in the US. It's still a very small percentage. So, it's really, to me, it's really about just sharing it with people so they know that it might be worth looking at something that's more natural than looking at, some of the stuff that's not working. So that's what I wanted to say for today. I will do the link, and I'll put the booklet underneath. If you aren't on the Thrive Collective, join that on the Thrive Collective, and then there's the whole lot of information, and there's going to be a whole lot more information as I'm starting in February and really getting it back to doing 2 or 3 times a day. I'll be talking about some stuff and do some Facebook Live. So, and if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to know about, I'd love to hear about it, because I can, we can do a Facebook Live, or we can do a video, because there are probably other people who will have the same kind of questions. So, hope you have a good rest of the week, and I will talk to you soon.